Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today we are going to play around with the 5 brand new in colors from Stampin' Up's In Color collection. And of course, I have 5 different card ideas I want to share with you that feature these new colors. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have 5 different cards I want to share with you, which feature the 2025 through 2027 In Color collection. The launch of the 5 new colors every year is actually one of my favorite times of the year. I love playing with fresh new colors, and to show you how much I love playing around with new colors, I always have an In Color card making club every year. So you can get all the details and register for the club by clicking on the link featured in the description below this video. Now, the cards in this video feature the all zipped up bundle from Stampin' Up. So this particular bundle has a stamp set and a coordinating die set. So we are going to be using all these different dies that are in here to create these adorable little cards. So let me show you how to make these. Okay, so this is the card that we're actually going to make today. But the concept for creating the card in any of the 5 colors is exactly the same. So you're going to start with an A2 size card base. So I'm just using thick basic white. So this card base is 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it in the middle at 4.25 inches, and this will be the base of the card. And then you're going to take 2 pieces of cardstock, and you want to cut them at 4.25 by 5.5 inches. So you basically just want to take a card base and just cut it in half. So we're going to use these 2 pieces to do some die cutting. So basically one of those pieces is going to be used to cover the entire card front, to cover the entire front of this white card base. So we are actually going to use 2 different dies. And so these are the dies that come with the all zipped up bundle. And we want to create the one on the top here. So we want this zippered part up on the top. And then we want the closed zippered part on the bottom. So this will hang off a little bit. But the cool thing about these dies is that they are continual. So basically what you want to do is you just want to line these up like this. And we're just going to tape these together. So I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape just to hold these dies in place. And then we're going to run this through our embossing machine at the same time, and we're going to cut this little design into our cardstock. So just lay your cardstock down, lay the die directly in the center, and then take your other plate and lay it over the top. And then we're just going to run this through. Okay, so once you run it through, then you can just pop all these pieces off and remove your die. All right, so this is what you will be left with. So the way this die is created, you could actually change out the zipper. You could make this like in silver or do it in a different color. I'm doing it all in one color, so that's why I just cut everything together. And we're just going to glue this down to our card base. So I'm going to add some glue all over the back of this. And we'll add some glue right to these little zipper pieces. And then we will adhere this to the card base. So I just start off to the left and line it up and let the rest of it fall down. And then you can just kind of scoot the pieces into place. All right, so that's what our card looks like so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the coordinating ink. So we're using the same color ink as the cardstock, and we're just going to stamp some images. So I'm going to start on the left, and we'll start by stamping some up towards the top, and then we'll just kind of come over, and you can overlap onto this piece because that's going to get covered up with some of the other die cut pieces that we'll create in just a minute. So let's add one here and here. And then basically we're going to do the same thing on this other side. We're just going to try to follow a similar pattern. All right, so that is the front, and we might as well do the inside right away. So I'm just going to use one of the greetings from this stamp set that just says zipping by to say hello. And we will just stamp that right on the inside. And then we will add a little flower. Let's add it up towards the top here. Okay, so now we are ready to create the die cut pieces just to add some more depth and dimension to the card. Now you're going to take the other piece of cardstock, so that's the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece, and we're going to cut all the accessories. So just arrange them on the cardstock piece and then put on your top plate and run them through. Okay, so here are all the die cut pieces. So basically you're just going to pop these out and these pieces actually you're going to have to cut. So we will basically just snip off the end here. We'll just snip it straight across and we'll do the same on this side. Okay, so now we have all our pieces cut out and basically it's just a matter of adhering them in place and we'll create this really cute card. So I'm going to add some glue to this piece. And this piece is basically going to come across here. It's going to hide that line from the zipper. And we're just going to let it hang off. So these pieces can be used for cards larger than the A2 size. So you can see I have some extra hanging off the top and the bottom here. So we're going to adhere this other piece the same way. We'll add some glue. And then we'll adhere this piece. And then for the pockets, I basically added some dimensionals to the back, and we are just going to pop these up right next to the zipper here. And then the little zipper piece, there's actually 2 different styles of zippers, but I just added a little glue dot right on the top part of this on the back, and we'll just stick this right in the center here. And so that's the basic design for the card. And then all I did was just take a scissors and just trim off these excess pieces that are hanging over the top. And that's our card. Isn't that cute? It's just an adorable little card. And you can do this in all 5 of the new in colors. Of course, you can use any color to create this card. All right, so let me show you the cards in all 5 of the colors. So this one is Timid Tiger. This is the one I just created with you. And then I did one in Cloud Cover. This one I just did plain. I didn't add any stamped design on it. So this one's in Strawberry Slush, and I decided to just stamp some hearts on that one. This one is called Darling Duckling. And this last one is Secret Sea. So notice how I have all different colors and I actually have stamped all different patterns on each of these cards. So there's a lot of possibilities with this particular bundle. And of course, if you want to showcase the in colors and play around with them, this is a great way to do it. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 5 different cards that you can create with this fun little zipped up bundle and in all 5 of the new colors. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.